So wait, there's Ichika, Miku, Itsuki, Nino. Who's the fourth one? Who's the fifth one? Fuck! Alright everyone, it's me, the Double Taku, and today we're talking about our final anime for today because I'm very tired and I've spent like 10 minutes talking about Promised Neverland and 15 minutes surprisingly for Bang Dream Ghost Man Party 2. Let's get on with something that I know to heart and fully enjoy. The Quintessential Quintuplets anime. So, yes, I had the manga with me just because like I recently purchased this, so I was like, you know, the anime's coming out, might as well review the first volume and see how far this goes. And I must say that my expectations were sort of blown for the first episode because they covered quite a lot, honestly. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it a lot. There's a lot of aspects that you can do with animation that you can't do in the manga. Just like with the voices and the music and the color, I'm just like, I love this series so much. And yeah, so we're gonna talk about the series. So if you've seen the first episode, they clearly bait you with the very strong intro, or not, I wouldn't say strong, but it's like clickbaity, I guess. Essentially, in the beginning of this episode, you start off with our main character, Futaro, who gets married and just sort of remembers, you know, that his bride is one of these 5 girls, and that's honestly one of the things that hooks me onto this anime, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's a freaking harem, it's like an isekoi sort of thing, you know, one dude, like a lot of girls, the promised girl, someone's gonna be like the one at the end, so I'm just like, oh gosh, I have to see how this goes. My personal thing, because after Nisekoi ended, that shit was like 200 plus chapters or whatever, and you know, I was like, I wanted something like that again. That's how I found this series. So it does a very good introductory thing to the characters, because there's 6 characters at least max in this series, because you have our main protagonist, tutor Futaro, and the quintuplet girls of 5. So you have to introduce them a lot. And at first you see Futaro, as you can see his situation he's in. He's a very, I won't say poor, but technically he's sort of poor. And he's in debt! And I'm just like, oh shit, man, this beginning is so like, somewhat more, cause like, he's start off with him trying to buy lunch, and he's buying the cheapest shit on the menu, and then taking out the meat, and I'm just like, yes! Cheap budgeting and stuff. I kind of relate to that because I budget my food and stuff in school as well. And you have him try to sit down and eat and study, and you have him reject this girl, ask him to help her study, which is of course was it Itsuki? Yeah, Itsuki. I know their names. I was practicing a bit. Who is of course going to be the tutor, or you know, their students. Except he doesn't know that yet. And then you have this whole altercation where he gets the call and he's like, hey, there's this rich family that came in and they're looking for a tutor and they're paying 5 times the wage. You know, this is the chance, man. We can get out of our debt and our, you know, like get some money and stuff like that. And he's like, and he sees this as a chance. He's like, yes, I can do this job. We won't be in debt anymore. We can support our family, and I won't have to be eating the cheapest food on the menu and shit like that. I can actually eat and be full because his stomach crawls right after. Which I don't think was in the manga. I was just reading this a while ago, so I don't remember. But yeah, so, and then you have the sudden discovery that, oh, the girl I rejected and was super mean to, because it's like, if you eat too much, you'll get fat or whatever. And then it's like, oh shit, I insulted the girl that I'm supposed to tutor. Fuck! And then there's just a whole altercation of him trying to apologize to her. And then you introduce or run into all of the other girls. And interestingly enough, I think, well, I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure they had different like songs or music playing every time someone was introduced. So at first it was Ichika, the older one, and One-san, and then just like, oh, you're really into, wait, did I say Itsuki and Ichika? Ichika's the older one, yeah. So Ichika talking about like, oh, you're trying to hit on Itsuka, my sister, yeah. And then, you know, you have her like, be like, sort of like, thing, I guess. And then you have Yotsuba. Okay, this is the one I somewhat vaguely remember. You have the one with the ribbon, yeah, and then you have her sort of like, oh, I know, I found your 100 score test. I'm here to give back to you, and then here's my 0 score tests, and you see her personality as the lively one, I guess. And then I think who's after that, and then it's Miku, headphone girl, best girl, my opinion. Yeah, best girl. Sort of, you know, observe them, stalking them through like that, you know, take a photo thing, put your head in the picture or whatever, and you just sort of have her. How would you describe her personality? She's very like, I can't explain in words right now, but you get my point of how you see the personalities of every single girl in the series as they introduce you. Like, so it's Ishika, then Yotsuba, then Miku, and then you see Nino, who's just sort of like, hey, are you stalking us or something like that? And you see her like, you know, really to throw down with our main character, because she's like following everyone around. And then last, of course, well, you do see Itsuki in the beginning, and in the end, just sort of like, wait, you're our tutor? And it was like, I don't want to be tutored by someone like you, Baka. And that's how it is. And then, you know, you have them finally reveal, like, oh, we're all sisters, we're quintuplets. And I'm just like, you're gonna be tutoring all of us. And I was like, what? So this is honestly where I thought the episode would end, right? But no, they actually go far past that. So of course you have Futaro go into their homes and then just sort of like, oh, it's time to study, guys, except no one came to study. Of course. And then you sort of had to go through the whole phase of learning everyone's names, because like I did personally, you're like, oh yeah, so this is our house, you know, Yotsuba is like the nice one who's actually there and supporting. And it's like, okay, so here's my room, and then Itsuki, Miku, Nino, and then Ichika last, yeah? I actually remember that because I read this series twice. And then you're just sort of like talking to all of them and seeing how, getting a feel for their personalities and stuff like that, until the very end when it's like, okay, I got all you guys together, I got 4 out of 5 together, let's actually go studying, and while they're eating cookies and whatnot, except when he goes to eat some cookies and drink some water, he gets freaking drugs, and then freaking sleep pills, I guess, I don't know, but he gets his freaking drugs, and then sent home via taxi. I'm just like, yep, that's Nino, yeah. And then actually, at that point, you have Itsuki tag along with Futaro to make sure he actually got home, so you sort of see that personality with her. And then she actually stops by to eat dinner at the house, and you get the situation that Futaro's in. They're in debt and stuff like that, and you just have this nice interaction with them, you know. It's like, oh, how was the tutoring? It was good, except the whole premise of this first episode is to set up like all the characters. You know, boy has to tutor these 5 girls, all these girls are quintuplets, and they all have these very different personalities. And essentially at the end of the episode, you have him come to realize, like, you know what, I just have to make, you know, help the girls study that are like in failing and stuff like that, you know. All I have to do is just make sure those girls pass, not all of them. I don't have to tutor all of them, except he doesn't know that, well, they reveal at the end, but you know, all 5 of them are failing grades, and that's why they transferred to the school. So he has to tutor all of them. And then in the preview for the next episode, you actually get to see, well, you get to focus into Miku, best girl, all I have to say. And yeah, I mean, so that's, honestly, this episode was, and this anime adaptation, honestly, was just spot on from the manga, because I read everything. They have a bunch of things from the manga translated into anime, like just everything, I guess. I have no complaints about this thing. Honestly, I thought it would end at the point where it was like, oh, you're gonna be tutoring us, we're sisters, we're quintuplets, and that was the first episode, and it was like, bait, you know, or whatever. I'm not bait, but like, that's how I thought it would end. But they go further on, and then, you know, was this going for 12? Actually, hold on, I got my cheat sheet right here, my iPad, you know, just wanna do some fact checking that how much of this, okay, it's going for 12 episodes. Yeah. Was the opening playing in the episode? If it did, I think it did. I'm pretty sure it did. I didn't really get a glimpse or a sense of how long, or not how long, where the series will end in terms of everything I've read from the manga, because I am pretty sure, well, I'll tell you this right now, that at the manga that I'm currently reading right now, I have not seen the ending, and I don't know who he gets married to. I'll say that much, at least. But things happened, and you know, like, this is gonna be another bloom into you, fuck. Anyway, okay, never mind. Aside from that, overall, this anime was pretty good. I think it enhances the manga a bit, just because you have a lot more voice and music and soundtrack and color to all the visuals and stuff like that. I really got a sense of everyone's personality through the voice acting, which is really great, honestly. And just sort of like, you know, the motion and the animation and stuff like that is really spot on when you have transition from one of the quintuplets to the other, and you sort of get a gist of like how their personality and their like habits, I guess we call it. So yeah, first episode impressions, not bad so far. Honestly, I think, let me just use my hacks real quick. At the very most, I think the second episode should cover that whole volume. That's honestly my cheat sheet right there. It's not a technical spoiler because I won't say what happens in here, but I think the second episode should cover that whole volume, which is a lot, actually. Now that you think about it, how many chapters is that? I think there's a table of contents. About 5 chapters. So yeah, 5 chapters per volume, and there's 12 episodes. That means you get through 60 chapters in my hypothetical math here, which is actually sounds pretty close to where I'm at right now. I have high hopes. If this anime can get further or even close to, or you know, it has to surpass what I'm reading at the manga in order to make me feel like a lot more happy about it, or like, you know, get more excited about this, because so far I know a very general understanding of what happens because I'm a manga elitist, not elitist, a reader or whatever, and I have my clairvoyance and shit and can predict the future and whatnot because books, you know. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think this will be a very good adaptation if it can somehow get past what I've read through in actually, you know what, scratch that. I think I have a very good idea of where this series will end. Maybe. I have a vague idea. We'll see. But anyways, yes, Quintessential Quintuplets. Let me know how you guys thought about the series as like a rom-com. One of these girls will be like married to the main protagonist of the future. Who will it be? Find out next time on the next episode of Quintessential Quintuplets, on the next volume. Blah blah blah. I'm honestly probably telling you right now, at the end of this, you won't know who it is. Just saying. If I don't know who it is, then you guys probably won't know who it is. So that's it for all the anime of this day, I guess. I'm exhausted a bit. And not everything has aired yet, so stay tuned for more potential videos for anime this season. I believe Boogie Pops tomorrow, and a few other things. Daily life. I do have to do daily life. Fuck. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Leave your thoughts about this series in the comments below about the series. And I'll see you guys later. Take care, guys. Matane.